the distinctive features between the North Island and the South Island of New Zealand. That is what I am going to be dealing with in this video. This is to help those of you that recently acquired visa to move over here in New Zealand to make that decision if they want to do North Island or South Island. And this will also enable Kiwis to know what we really think about North Island and South Island of New Zealand. So you all are welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it is your first time stopping by, I am your one and only out and about lady here in New Zealand, anytime, any day. Please subscribe, give me a thumb up. This is the only way YouTube will recommend this content to anyone who would love it. So, still in the mood of Christmas. If you haven't got your Santa gifts, just say hi in the comment section. Let's see if Mr. Santa would have something for you. Okay, let's dive into the topic of today. So the number one point I am going to be discussing is natural beauty. As a lot of you know, New Zealand is a country that is endowed with natural beauty. Both islands are astonishingly beautiful. But I would say South Island is more natural. Yeah, why I said so, just keep listening as I discuss my other points. You would understand why I come to that conclusion. So the second point I'll be talking about today is multicultural. New Zealand generally is multicultural, from the indigenous people of New Zealand to all the migrants. New Zealand is a country that you visit, that you would see people from all nations. You would see people speaking different languages, in as much as we have our major languages here, which is New Zealand Sign Language, English, Maori. But you can see other countries, other cultures here. As the region that is more multicultural, just go through this analysis with me and you would understand why I come to that conclusion that I'm giving it to the north. You guys know we have 5 major cities here in New Zealand, starting from your Auckland, your Wellington, your Christchurch, your Hamilton, and Palmerston North. And if you look inward, you would notice that 4 of the cities I mentioned are situated in the North Island. So technically what this implies is that these other 4 cities in the North Island will be attracting more visitors, more investors, and a whole lot of things that you can think of from it. So why Christchurch is the only one that made it on this list and the only one in the South Island. So all of these infuses saying on why I come to that conclusion that North Island is more multicultural. The likelihood of you seeing people from your region and the likelihood of your kids going to school and having that multicultural and a whole lot of things, the likelihood of you going to work and seeing more multicultural work environment would be higher because of the population, and people tend to settle more in the North Island, or probably things bring immigrant more to the North Island compared to the South Island. Okay, let's move over to the third point that I would like to talk about today. I would say when it comes to job opportunity, just from the previous point I discussed, which is which of the islands is more multicultural. So for the reason that more industries, more investors, and more visitors tend to visit the top 4 cities in the North Island more, it's just naturally expected that there would likely be more jobs in those bigger cities. So when it comes to job hunting, I would also say that the likelihood of you securing a job in the North Island might be higher, but there are other things that you have to put in consideration, which is the type of thread or the type of career you're into, as it might be more needed in the South Island than in the North Island. But overall, I would say that you stand a greater chance of having more job opportunity in the north compared to South Island. And also, coming down to my own experience from my job hunting, when I was getting off maternity leave and trying to integrate and pursue career into pharmacy after passing my KEBS, I did put out 10 applications, 5 in the North Island, 5 in the South Island, and it burst my bubbles that at that time I was still living in the South Island, and I got 4 favorable reply in the North Island and just 1 in the South Island. So this is my own experience as well. So the fourth point I'm going to be discussing today is which of this island is central. As you guys know, before you can move from north to south or from south to north, you have to either fly or take ferry, as both island is divided by water. So when it comes to being central, if you are the type that like traveling, getting out of the country, I would always choose North Island. It's just easier to navigate. There's every likelihood that you would have most of the amenities that you seek in the North Island. Again, I'll put myself as an example when it comes to certain exams like the KEBS I wrote. There was no center in the South, so I needed to travel to North to do it. And also the program I'm running now, the 2 centers are just in Wellington and in Auckland, so it would be beneficial or a lot easier for people that are living in the north than people that will be traveling every now with traveling costs from the South Island. So let's go to the number 5 point, which I know that is the point you guys have been patiently waiting for me to get to, which is cost of living. And I would say it again, New Zealand is an expensive country. For the reasons you all know if you've been following me prior to now, we are isolated, we are at the other end of the world. So before things we do not make here in New Zealand get to us, it would have traveled miles, and the cost of transportation would be infused into it. And being a first world country, you pay tax on services and products, so things are just what it is. Things are generally expensive in the both islands. So when it comes to cost of groceries, I would like to say that the chain supermarkets like your Pack and Save, your New World, your Countdown, your Four Squares, that the prices of groceries are somehow regulated by food stuff. That is their central warehouse that supply them. So irrespective of where you live, the cost of groceries in this top chain supermarkets would likely be the same. But what makes the difference is the local veggies and fruit market, like your farmers market. So, and I would also say, I don't know if it is because of I'm yet to navigate my way around to know where the real farmers market is here in the North Island. I would say I saved more of fruits and vegetable from Christchurch, going to the veggies and fruit store that is situated in Rakuten. They had a lot of deals that I saved so much money eating fruits and vegetables without breaking the bank, which on the contrary here I spent so much money to keep vegetables in my meal and keep fruits on the fruit bowl here in the South Island. So when it comes to rubbish disposal again, it was a bit awkward that on my arrival here, I noticed that you have to make arrangements for your rubbish disposal. Whereas in most rented apartments in South Island, all of that will get infused into your weekly rentals. You just throw your rubbish into the three bins provided, the recycle, the rubbish, and what is the other one called? So you just throw your rubbish in, you put them out on the road on the day of collection. But here they're like you have to make the arrangement or probably buy I think 5 bag that the council a kind of saw that is around $13 as I'm talking to you now, that you have to put your rubbish bin into and check them out on the day of collection if you want them to be picked up. So that was a big awkward for me. So the next thing I would talk about is renting and buying a house. Again, rentals here in New Zealand is really expensive, and buying a house is expensive as well. But what you always have to keep your eye on is you keep your eye on the market trend, know the areas that are more expensive. Of course, you would expect buying a house in Auckland to be far more expensive compared to buying any other smaller city, and also buying in Wellington to be more expensive than Palmerston North and that kind of a thing. But you just do your general homework to see the proximity of the place that you want to buy a house to the nearest biggest city if you are not buying in the core 5 cities. And all of this infuses into the cost of the house. But relatively, from the statistics that were read, buying a house in New Zealand in Palmerston North is relatively affordable compared to the five big cities that I mentioned earlier on. And also renting, a lot of factors are involved. If you are getting the property from property managing companies, of course you expect them to infuse the cost of them looking after the house, running the house, maintenance, and that sort of thing. But if you are getting the house directly from the house owner, is a total different ball game. You expected to have it cheaper. So all of these things are the things you need to take care of and know how to navigate around keeping costs low while buying or renting a house. So the sixth point I would talk about today is safety. New Zealand is still one of the safest countries in the world, there is no doubt. But my being a safety conscious girl, I just love to just be at alert. But generally speaking, from my experience living in North and South Island of New Zealand, I've not really have any major issue with safety being of my house being broken into and things like that. But one thing I noticed here in North Island is that people are more safety conscious. People are more into content insurance. People tend to insure what is in their homes, and people tend to have this camera outside capturing what is happening in front of their house, which is also in South Island but not as pronounced as it is in the North Island. So, and the final point I'll be talking about today is uncertainties like natural disasters. As you all know, New Zealand generally is an earthquake prone country, and we have quakes here and there, irrespective of the place you are located in New Zealand. But the major earthquake in the history of New Zealand happened in Christchurch, which is in the north, which is in the South Island of New Zealand, and other natural disasters like flooding, cyclone Gabriella are more the North Islands are more prone to it. So these are the things you need to put in consideration before you make that decision. Which one can you better handle? And also, I think down towards the west coast of the North Island, of the South Island, because I lived there for about a year. Also, flooding happens on the west coast, more of Westport, Greymouth, and things like that. So these are the things you should put into consideration to know which of the island will suit you more. So if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumb up, share it, and let me know what you think about this content. If you're a Kiwi, do you think that I did justice to it, that my research and my opinions are facts or they are valid? I would love to hear in the comment section. This will guide people making that decision on which region to move to come to a conclusion. So I remain your one and only out and about lady here in New Zealand, anytime, any day. Bye for now.